Ariel Helwani in San Diego getting set for Strikeforce Diaz versus Daly alongside the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, who faces Gegard Mousasi this Saturday night live on Showtime. Late notice fight, a fight that I don't think a lot of people were expecting to come about, and I'm wondering from your perspective, I mean, were you even on Strikeforce's radar? Were you talking to Strikeforce, or did this just come out of blue?
No, right out of the blue. We weren't talking or anything. I just happened to have a fight a month ago. I was on vacation. I was just getting back to work about a week ago, and I got this call Thursday night. Someone like Mousasi, man, I couldn't turn that down, you know. Like, it was just some organization, some random organization, some guy I never heard of. I would turn it down easy, but not Mousasi.
So they called you, not you called them, right?
No, they called me on Thursday night, yeah.
Now, do you think you would have gotten this opportunity had Zuffa not purchased Strikeforce? Or do you think because they know you and maybe paperwork, all that stuff, it was easier to give you a call on such short notice?
Yeah, I think Zuffa had a little bit to do with it. I'm assuming. I have no idea, actually. I mean, I talked to Joe Silva that morning just to get his advice, but honestly, I don't know how it came about, but I'm excited, man. UFC and Zuffa's owning Strikeforce, and I'm back with Zuffa again. I mean, it means the world to me, and so this is a great thing for me.
What kind of advice did Joe give you?
He said, if you're in shape, take it. Just like he mentioned to me that but just Strikeforce is under the Zuffa family right now, so you'd be doing Zuffa a favor and this and that, but I'm only do it if you're in shape, and I honestly I didn't even think about that too much, like I said before, someone like Mousasi, man, and like a while ago he was in the top 10. He's a Strikeforce champion. He's extremely well known. I can't turn a fight like that down. It's almost like backing down from a fight on the street. A big name like that, I have to jump up and take it. And my weight's good. I was on my way down to 185 anyway. So.
Yeah. Why were you considering dropping down?
I just figured I'm at the point in my career where I'm 35 right now, but I'm feeling better than ever. I'm healthier than ever. I'm more athletic than ever. But the window's getting shorter for me, and I'm looking at the 85. I was looking at the 185-pound weight class in the UFC in the top 10, and honestly, it wasn't very impressive. And I never focused on my diet before. I've always been kind of chubby at 205, and I figured, well, if I'm going to make the commitment to reinvent myself, I might as well throw diet in there too and get down to 185. And that was my game plan, and the week before this fight, that's what I was doing. I was dropping weight, and then I got this call. So it seems like it's all meant to be for some reason.
So regardless of what happens on Saturday night, is it safe to say that this is your last fight as a light heavyweight?
Yeah, probably. But you never know. Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, so it's almost, and I've been saying this all since we've been here. A lot of firsts this week because of Zuffa owning Strikeforce. We're seeing a lot of differences, and it's almost weird seeing you because you were such a big part of the UFC for so many years here at a Strikeforce event. Do you feel as though, and I know it's not one, but this is almost like UFC versus Strikeforce in a sense? Do you look at it that way?
I never thought about that till right now. I was just thinking of it as this is the first time that the UFC and Strikeforce have really come together. Like I've been on the UFC roster forever, and that's the way I look at it. UFC versus Strikeforce. I don't know how to think about that for a little bit.
You've won 2 in a row since you were stuck in that losing streak. How difficult was it while you were in the midst of the losing streak to keep focused and to keep that drive going and to not harp on it? You know what I mean? Because I'm sure there was a point where you're just like itching just to get that winning feeling again.
Well, yeah, exactly. The drive and the focus wasn't the hard part. The problem was I was just getting back in the gym and I was killing myself. I was grinding metal. I would lose a split decision or a tough loss, and I'd get back and work harder than ever. And by the time I fought, was it Matt Hamill, man? I trained harder than ever in my life for that fight, and I got to the fight and I had nothing past the first round, and it was just clear overtraining. So one thing for sure you can say about this fight, there's no way I can be overtrained. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to actually look at some tape on Gegard?
Yeah, on Saturday, me and Coach Wink looked at it a little bit. At this point, there's not too much. I just I'm not really worried about it. I watched a little bit of his tape, see he's real good on the ground. He's got those great up kicks, and he's a real traditional kickboxer. But other than that, there's no time to game plan, so I don't want to spend too much time studying film.
In his last Strikeforce fight, he lost to King Mohammed Lawal, and his wrestling, or lack thereof, was exposed. Are you going to try to take this fight to the ground?
I'm not sure yet. My goal is I'm just gonna go in there and be more aggressive than I'm not trying to give too much away. If the takedown's there, I'll take it. If not, I'm not worried about it. But it's going to be a great high-paced fight, and you are going to see a different Keith Jardine in the I was going to say octagon. Or what is it?
It's a hexagon.
You're going to see a different Keith Jardine in the hexagon on Saturday. It's part of me reinventing myself, and I'm really excited to show off a little bit.
While you were at the end of your UFC run, there was always this pressure, will you get out of the losing streak, all this stuff. Now it almost feels like there's no pressure on you, right? A lot of people are counting you out. You took this fight on 1 week's notice. Do you feel that way? Like you could just go out there and just focus on the fight instead of everything else?
Nah, you can say that. I'm ignoring all that. It just feels like a normal fight for me. The pressure thing is, if I go have a bad fight, this is still a business, and who knows where I'm going to be in my next fight. And honestly, I want to be with Zuffa until I retire. So there's that pressure there, but it's up to me not to let it build up.
What was it like fighting on the smaller shows?
Yeah, it's weird. A lot of people know what happened in the Dominican. It was a big scam. I fought down there in front of about 200 people, and nobody got paid. My last fight was home in Albuquerque, and it was kind of a homecoming. It was a great experience. I think we had a record money event there for Albuquerque to Mexico, and people showed up. Support was crazy. So honestly, that was about the most nervous I've been for a fight in a long time, just because of the pressure of fighting at home. And now it just feels like, I'm kind of comfortable back to where I belong, and just doing the same routine as normal, and I'm loving this. I get off the first thing I get off the airport, and I run into Burt Watson, and it's like family right there.
Have you still not gotten paid for the fight in the Dominican?
No, nobody's got paid.
Are you doing anything to try to rectify this?
I think I stopped as a week ago when I heard about this fight, but we just got the footage of the fight, and we're going to try and find a way to get it out there and use the proceeds for that fight to pay for all the fighters.
You mentioned Coach Winklejohn. What is the mood like at Team Jackson's now, especially with everything going on with your good friend Rashad Evans and John Jones?
It's kind of weird. That's another fortunate thing about this short notice is I haven't had any time for that to affect me, because it certainly would have. It was weird for a few weeks, but me and Rashad talked, and we saw this coming for a while, and it's just unfortunate, but it's a business as well as a sport.
He obviously feels not betrayed, but he's gone elsewhere now. Did you have to think twice about sticking around with Jackson's?
No, Albuquerque's my home, and Greg and Wink have always been my coach, but it is going to take me apart from Jackson's a lot, because I'm going to be with Rashad a lot more wherever he's at, helping him train and helping him train for his next fight. It's going to be weird, Honestly, the weirdness hasn't really set in, but once that fight starts happening and the people are in camps and everything, that's when it might get a little weird.
All right, final question: how do you expect the fight to play out on Saturday?
I really don't know. I know less than normal. All I know about me is you're going to see a different Keith Jardine there. You're going to see me a lot more. I'm just going to see a different Keith Jardine out there. I'm going to have a different attitude and a different approach to this fight, and I'm really excited to showcase that. One thing for sure is I was worried for a little while. I was worried about, man, I better go out there and conserve energy and all that. But the old saying, like, I'm gonna get tired anyway, so I just might as well go out and try and get tired. I might as well not just go out there, have a bad fight, try not to get tired. So I'm just gonna go do it, man.
And by the way, how much do you weigh right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty light. Like I said, I was going down 185. This morning I got up at 212. Yeah, lighter than ever, yeah.
He is ready. The return of the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, goes down this Saturday night. Keith Jardine up against Gegard Mousasi live on Showtime. Thank you for the time, Keith, and welcome back.
Thank you, man.